Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Abrew About Nothing. And this week, we're heading to Modern to play some Neo Ninjas, playing ninjas, but updated with all those sweet new Kamigawa Neon Dynasty cards. So how good is Biting Palm Ninja, Thousand Face Shadow, Kaido Suzuki, all the other sweet new ninja cards? Let's talk about our deck, jump into some games, and find out. All right, so here is our Neo Ninjas deck for Modern, and I'm really excited to see how good these new ninjas are in one of Magic's most powerful formats. So the idea of the deck is kind of similar to last time we played ninjas. I mean, ninjas want to do one thing. First, you want to play evasive creatures on turn 1, really, and then you want to ninjutsu something into play on turn 2, hopefully. So we start off with our cheap evasive creatures. The biggest new addition, Thousand Face Shadow. Just a 1-mana 1/1 flyer that can also be ninjutsued and copy stuff later. It is insane. One of the best ninjas ever printed. We also have Changeling Outcast, which happens to be a ninja, which is relevant along with everything else. And then we got a couple of Ornithopters, which I don't really like Ornithopter that much in the deck, but it does do one really important thing, which is we can like play Ornithopter, turn 2, pick it up to Ninja the Deep Hours or whatever, ninjutsu it, be completely tapped out, and still replay it so we can ninjutsu again the next turn. So even though it's not all that powerful, it is really good ninjutsu fodder. So these are the cards that let us ninjutsu. Then we have our first passive ninjutsu creatures, and these are our card advantage ninjas. Ingenious Infiltrator, Ninja the Deep Hours, and now Moon Circuit Hacker. Infiltrator is the best. Just whenever any ninja deals damage, we get to draw a card, which means our Changeling Outcast, our Thousand Face Shadow, along with all of our other ninjas, are drawing us cards. So it is just a huge snowball of card advantage. Ninja the Deep Hours, when it deals combat damage, we get to draw a card. If we got an Infiltrator, it draws 2 cards. Moon Circuit Hacker, a little bit weird because it really only loots unless it's the turn that it came into play, and then it straight up draws a card, but still a nice backup, and it's only 1 mana ninjutsu, so it can do some shenanigans later in the game, allowing us to pick up our unblocked creatures on the cheap to get them back in our hand. Like Thousand Face Shadow is a card that we often want to play early, but then we often want it in our hand late so we can ninjutsu and copy something. Moon Circuit Hacker is one of the most efficient ways to do that. So that's kind of the core of the deck. Then we have a couple of support pieces. Spell Stutter Sprite, another evasive creature, gives us a counter spell, works well with Changeling Outcast, which is technically a fairy, so we can counter more expensive things. Biting Palm Ninja, another absurd new addition, our Thought Seize Ninja, 3 mana to ninjutsu, so a little bit more expensive than our other ninjas, but still, it is really powerful. We see cards like Vendilion Click be staples in older formats. Biting Palm Ninja, kind of the ninja version of that on a decent body. Then we have our new Planeswalker, Kaido Suzuki, which is actually really, really powerful. It's only a 2 of, because 3 mana is actually kind of a lot for our deck, but it makes ninjas that are unblockable. It draws us cards, so it kind of works like a weird version of, I don't know, Ninja the Deep Hours with the +1. And then if we have our ultimate, we just put all of our stuff into play as we're attacking, win the game pretty quickly, and it protects itself a little bit with the phase out. As far as our interaction, we mostly are trying to do 2 things: protect our ninjas and get our ninjas through so we can keep attacking. We have Fatal Push, we have Vapor Snag to get blockers out of the way. Same with Dismember. Drown the Lock can kill things or counter things. Disrupting Shoal, normally not very good in Modern, but it's actually perfect for ninjas for a couple of reasons. One is, once we get going, we draw a ton of cards, and Disrupting Shoal gives us a way we can use those cards, pitching it to counter something. Secondly, because of our weird ninjutsu mana costs, we actually have blue cards from 1 mana to 4 mana, so Disrupting Shoal can kind of counter anything we want to naturally, even though we play our cards for much cheaper thanks to ninjutsu. Mana base, pretty straightforward, bunch of mana fixing. Sideboard, more interaction, more counters, some graveyard hate, some combo hate, and that is Neo Ninjas for Modern. That's our Much Abrew deck for this week, so let's jump into some games and see how good are ninjas with the new Kamigawa Neon Dynasty cards in the mix. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy the ninjutsuing, and I will talk to you soon. Need some new Kamigawa Neon Dynasty cards? Well, you can get them from our amazing sponsor, Card Kingdom, by heading over to cardkingdom.com/MTGGoldfish and even get a free goldfish sticker. Just let them know you want one in your order notes, and they'll hook you up. Much Abrew About Nothing time. We are playing some Neo Ninjas, and I mean, Moon Circuit Hacker's something. It is not our best card draw, and it's only a 1 of, because it only actually draws once, but Changeling Outcast into Moon Circuit Hacker, see what happens. Watery Grave, off the Flooded Strand, Changeling Outcast, go. All right, opponent, no companion, so who knows what our opponent's up to. Windswept Eve cracks it, and The ignoblest. Ooh, that's a good one. That is a very good one. The ignoblest of hierarchs. Well, we will go to combat. I actually think we wait on this hilariously. I think we're better off playing the island. We want 2 creatures for next turn, I think. So I think what we do is get in with Changeling Outcast. Opponent can't block. Then we can Moon Circuit Hacker, pick up the Changeling Outcast, draw a card. Yes, please. And then Changeling Outcast. Pass the turn, and this potentially sets us up for a big infiltrator next turn. Rootbound Krieg. Opponent. Magus of the Moon. Well, play the land, go to combat. It's actually a little bit annoying. Opponent. So we need a black mana or removal spell. So I think what we do is Ninja the Deep Hours, pick up Changeling Outcast, which we can't currently recast awkwardly, but draw a card, fetch land, loot. Okay, there's the Dismember. That is very, very helpful. We will discard, I guess, Changeling Outcast? Thousand Face Shadow for ninjutsu purposes. Pass the turn. So next turn we can dismember the Magus of the Moon and then infiltrate, hopefully. All right, Cemetery Gatekeeper. So this is like Gruel. I don't even know. Stompy? Mid-range? Taxes? Snags our creature. Opponent gets and hits us. Could also just draw Black Source. That would be sweet. Down to 14. Oh, this is going to be a good turn. So we get to Vapor Snag the Gatekeeper. Dismember Magus of the Moon. Land, crack it for a swamp in case there's another one. Go to combat, attack with everything. Infiltrator, pick up Hacker, draw 4. All right, that's fine. Well, pass the turn. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have some hasty, like, questing beast effect. That would be potentially a problem. We need 2 turns. 2 turns to win. Well, maybe 1 turn. If our opponent shocks themselves, perhaps 1 turn. Opponent, 4 mana. Collected company. What are they find? Hex Drinker, Strangle, Root, Geist. Okay, that's pretty fine. Passes. Play the swamp. Go to combat. Attack with everything. Opponent blocks. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Thousand Face Shadow. Pick up Thousand Face Shadow. Copy Infiltrator. Oh, we're 1 point of damage short. Yeah. All right. Well, hit you. Draw a ton of cards. Opponent gets back Strangle Root Geist. Draw 4. Opponent goes to 2. All right. No interaction. Well, I guess that means we just replay Thousand Face Shadow and hope for the best. Oh, all right, opponent untaps. They got 4 points of damage on the battlefield. We should be good, I think. Ninja power. Then opponent cannot keep up with the ninjas. Wow, opponent Blood Moon does too. Still not enough. Run it like that. Oh, I don't know if we keep this, honestly. 4 lands, no early drops. Yeah, we got a mulligan. You don't want to keep hands that are all the 4 mana ninjutsu things and nothing to ninjutsu them with. Ooh. I mean, that's one of the risks, although it's pretty unlucky to get hands like this. The mixture, all right, this will keep. Land to the bottom and actually, no. We want to keep the basic, I think. We will put what? Thousand Face Shadow and actually, let's go Vapor Snag Watery Grave. We're all in on the Kaido plan. We'll see. We'll see if Kaido's enough. Stop big routes for our opponent. Adapt. Add the ignoblest of hierarchs again. Darkslick Shores. Changeling Outcast. Go. Opponent. Rootbound Krieg. Hey, Lightning Skelemental. Discard. Come on! 2-drop ninjutsu card draw. Ornithopter. Ornithopter's it's so janky in this deck. We're gonna play it. It can block Ignoble Hierarch. Island go. Grist. And makes an insect. All right, another Changeling Outcast. Well, hit the Grist for 1. Yeah, not many cards. Play the Changeling Outcast, pass the turn. About it. Unearth the Skelemental. There goes our Kaido. Well, that's brutal. Discard it. Down to 6. Yeah, I mean, I think we're just dead. Like, even if we get to ninjutsu, I think it's just too late to matter at this point. Skelemental goes away. It's a land. Yeah, all right. Lesson is don't mold a 5. Voidwalkers might actually be okay. Run it like that. All right, we'll keep this. Kind of like this hand. So we can turn 1, kill the Mana Dork. Turn 2 Voidwalker and just see what happens. Windswept Teeth. Opponent going to crack it. Open grounds. Untapped. Hex Drinka. Are we still going to kill it? I guess I guess so. Yeah, Watery Grave, untapped. Fatal Push the Hex Drinker, untap. Void Waka, fancy version. Stomping Grounds for our opponent, tapped. And Ignoble Hierarch. So we can just ninjutsu. It might be better just to kill the Hierarch though. I'll go to combat, hit ya. Yeah, I think we're gonna kill the Hierarch, play the land, because we can't drown in the lock a 3-drop anyway, unfortunately. Kill Ignoble Hierarch, pass the turn. I guess there was a bit of a non-bow between Voidwalker and drown in the lock, come to think of it. A little bit awkward. Overgrowth Tomb. I mean, if our opponent Skelementals, we get to Skelemental them back with Voidwalker if we want to, which is kind of funny. Grist. Ticks it up. About it passes. I'll go to combat. Yeah, I think we got to hit the Grist this turn. So Grist on a 1. 1,000 Face Shadow. Go. Leave up the Drown in the lock. Yeah, Voidwalker exiling stuff is powering down our Drown in the lock a little bit. Strangle Rootgeist. I guess that's fine. I'm gonna go attacking. Sure. Down to 14. And all right, opponent makes a token. Go to combat. Kill Grist, hit our opponent. Changeling Outcast. I mean, eventually we're gonna have this big turn. Hopefully it's fast enough. It's gonna depend on what our opponent has. Opponent, Skelemental time. Do we care about Cemetery Gatekeeper? Opponent's only got 1 mana up. You know what? I think we just counter it actually. Yeah, counter the Gatekeeper. Attacks. Well, we're gonna take it, but then we get to draw some cards down to 10. Opponent passes. Darkslick Shore's not the best. Well, go to combat. Do some attacking. Infiltrate. Picking up 1,000 Face Shadow. Edgia, draw 2. We're at 10. This is kind of awkward, but land on Rogue. Voidwalker part 2. Sack Voidwalker, play Grist. Make an insect. Oh, wow. We hit Changeling Outcast and double. Wow, overpowered. Changeling Outcast, technically an insect. The odds of us double hitting are so low. Well, we'll take it. Coco time? Yeah, all right, let's see what they find. But we need something pretty good. Grist and Ignoble Hierarch. That's not bad, but our Grist is actually better than our opponents at the moment. Are you going to tick down to blow up what? Are you going to blow up the Voidwalker? Sure. Opponent passes. Ooh, 1,000 Face Shadow. Well, go to combat. Everything at our opponent. We might be able to win with Grist Ultimate. Opponent blocks. Ninja the Deep Hours. Pick up Changeling Outcast. Hit you to 6. Stuff dies. Strangaroot comes back. All right. Pathway and Biting Palm Ninja. Well, replay the Outcast. Oh, we just don't have quite enough to win. 1,000 Face Shadow. Yeah, let's just play Darkslick Shores. Grist. Yeah, we'll just make it insect. That's fine. Tick up. Pass the turn. I mean, opponent's at 6. Next turn, we definitely have it. Unless our opponent can sweep our board, we should have the Ninja win next turn. Okay. Insect. Oh, all right. We might not be Ninja winning this turn on second thought. Hex Drinker. Well, I guess we'll just have to settle for drawing a ton of cards. That is acceptable. Opponent passes. Castle Lockwayne. Play Castle Lockwayne. Grist. Sack an insect. Kill the Strangle Rootgeist. Go to combat. Attack with everything. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore the Grist. Get in with everything. Cards will be drawn. Oh my god, opponent's not blocking. Opponent's at 12. Let's just Biting Palm Ninja. Pick up the Grist token. Hit ya. This lets us get a Thoughtseize, which is big. I don't know what's in our opponent's hand, but just in case. And we still get to draw a bunch. Ooh, Vapor Snake's nice. Drown in the Lock's nice. That's what we want. I mean, this is what makes the deck so unbeatable sometimes, is you just have all this interaction, and when you get in these big attacks, even if you don't win, well, we'll take the Skelemental. Even if you don't win, you just generate so much card advantage that you're likely to do stuff like this. And now, like, it becomes very, very difficult to lose. We just have so many pieces of interaction in hand that our opponent's not going to be able to do anything, really. If they try to level this up, we can bounce it, and all right, there's the GG. And that is the Ninja power. Opponent's Grist was actually pretty good for us. Voidwalker seemed good. Well, all right, that was not bad. Much Abrew About Nothing time. We are playing some Neo Ninjas this week in Modern, and I don't know if we keep this. No one drops, nothing to do until really turn 3, and we're playing a Kaido? Yeah, I think we need to get off to a faster start than that. Well, okay. I mean, this will keep. Not super exciting. Cavern's a little clunky, but at least we got some 1-drops. Better than that first hand, I think, which was just real bad. Yeah, all right. We will put a round in the lock to the bottom. Island and Ninja 1000 Face Shadow, go. Come on, Ninjutsu thing. Planes for our opponent. Hammer time, maybe? Yep, looks like hammer time. Oh, boy. All right, max punishment, go to combat, attack. We drew the infiltrator, but we can't ninjutsu because of Cavern, because we're not casting a spell. Gonna take the 1. Well, hopefully Dismember can fizzle the first hammer, and hopefully at some point we draw Black Source to ninjutsu this infiltrator and start drawing cards. Kaido could be fine. Ornithopter for our opponent, and Urza Saga, Bustarino, Colossus Hammer. Well, I mean, we gotta try to kill the Ornithopter. If they have another one, we just lose here, basically. Dismember? Do you have 2 hammers? We dodged the first hammer. We really need this infiltrator to get going with this saga being a thing. Okay, well, all right. Watery Grave, untapped. Go to combat, attack you. Well, that is the land we needed. No blocks. Well, all right, infiltrator. Pick up 1000 Face Shadow, hit ya. Draw 2, and then replay 1000 Face Shadow. Pass the turn. Well, this is gonna be close. Hopefully we draw into some more removal. I mean, I guess our opponent needs another land. Okay, so they have the land, so they can make the construct. I guess it's only a 2/2 at the moment. All right, opponent trying to figure out what to do here. All right, Pure Steel. Well, they can't equip it yet. Only 1 artifact, so they need 2 more. I mean, the Saga is gonna get 1 next turn. So next turn, potential, Disrupting Shoal. Does that even do anything here? Let's go to combat, attack with everything. See what our opponent does. Ninja the D-Powers, pick up 1000 Face Shadow, draw many Magic the Gathering cards. Unfortunately, this Disrupting Shoal can't stop Urza's Saga. All right, so we draw 4. A removal spell would be nice. Another Dismember would be huge. Swamp, Changeling Outcast. Okay, there's the Dismember. That's big. That's super big. So, play the Swamp. Dismember Pure Steel. We are kind of killing ourselves, but get rid of the Pure Steel. Changeling Outcast. And then Disrupting Shoal can get a 1 or a 3, which means it doesn't technically stop a Pure Steel or a Stone Forge. Well, I mean, the Snowball's on. The Snowball is officially on. And getting rid of the Pure Steel means they can't hammer and equip. I mean, I guess they can construct hammer equip, but all right, opponent's just going to let it go. Wow, they get a bobble. Yes. I think we can outdraw a bobble. I'm pretty confident. Hollowed Fountain, tap land. That's spicy. Reality Chip, that's super spicy. And it can equip for free. That's actually a really cool idea. Equipping this for free is a lot of card advantage. Like 2 mana Future Sight is kind of absurd. I actually really like that idea. What in the world? Is this equipped to itself? What is happening? I'm so confused. I don't know if that's legal. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I think we're gonna win, but that is really weird. Opponent gets to draw a card. We draw, oh my god, another Ninja the D-Power. So, go to combat, attack you. Wow, we can draw kind of infinite cards here if we want to. Go attacking. I mean, I think we're gonna... That can't be right. It is equipped to itself. So we're gonna 1000 Face Shadow, pick up the 1000 Face Shadow. Oh my god. We might need Reliquary Tower in this deck. Maybe that's better than Cavern. Oh my goodness, we're gonna draw some cards. Copy the Infiltrator. Yes, please. Are we milling out? We might be milling out. Well, we're gonna stack up a few triggers. Draw 10-ish, I think. 11. That's a good turn. Yeah, we'll keep drawing. Why not? All right, now we got to figure out how to do this hand. We will play Ornithopter. We will play Watery Grave untapped. And then I think we just pass and discard a lot of Magic the Gathering cards. And then discard all these. That's not bad. So we can counter anything from 1 mana to 4 mana, and we got 2 removal spells. So I think we should be good. This reality chip is cracking me up. There's no way that's got to be a bug. Land and Esper Sentinel. Okay, going to reconfigure this reality ship, though. I don't think any of this actually matters because we just win, but, well, that was pretty good. Opponent said they couldn't actually play cards off the top of their library with the reality chip equipped to itself, though. Well, I mean, we will just Vapor Snag, the Esper Sentinel, an attack, and that should be lethal. Well, that went pretty well. Reality chip shenanigans aside, yes, we'll pay the 1 just in case. Bounce your dork. Oh, it doesn't even do anything. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Wow. It went back to non-creature. I mean, it didn't matter either way. We had lethal in every possible way, but yeah, this reality chip really bugged with Sigarda's aid. All right, I guess explosives probably it. Force a negation, try it like that. Opponent's on the play for game number 2, and I mean, we're gonna keep this. No 1-drop, a little bit of a bummer, but Spellstutter Sprite's pretty good. Hopefully we can like flash it in, counter something, and then ninjutsu something. Draw on the Lock's gonna be interesting in this matchup because Hammer Time, not a deck that fills its graveyard super consistently. Although their stuff is cheap enough that it's not like we need a ton of cards in the graveyard. Like killing a 2-drop is fine. So if we can get up to like 2 cards in the graveyard, we're good. And they have bobbles and stuff. So ideally we bounce something and then spell stutter it on the way back down. Opponent Ink Moth Nexus. Maybe this is what we gotta bounce. Stoneforge Mystic. All right, so I assume our opponent's gonna get a hammer, but we'll see. Hopefully it's a hammer. If it's like a Cauldra complete, that would be okay. It's just a hammer, sure. So opponent's gonna pass, bounce the Ornithopter, and then we can spell stutter. So all right, Ornithopter, boom, down to 19. Ooh, and a Fatal Push too. Play Polluted Delta, pass the turn. I mean, Fatal Push is gonna be good long term. This hand is shaping up relatively nicely. Opponent. I mean, if they try to go for the win, we got it covered. Ornithopter going to return. Yeah, this feels bad, but we need to be able to attack with this Spell Stutter Sprite to ninjutsu. So we actually oddly have to counter this Ornithopter, I think. Yeah, Spell Stutter Sprite. Take that Ornithopter. More importantly, or just as important, it's a card in the graveyard for Drown in the Lock. Wow, we spent multiple cards to stop an Ornithopter. Ninja's so powerful. Gotta spend 2 cards to stop an Ornithopter. There's the Urza Saga. That card's kind of an issue. All right, there's the reality chip. It's ninjutsu time. Oh, explosives. That's actually a pretty good one. All right, since we drew explosives, I think we play the land, go to combat, attack with the Spell Stutter Sprite. I think we're going to ninja the Deep Hours and leave up Fatal Push. So get in with Spell Stutter Sprite. Being able to pick up Spell Stutter Sprite's really sweet too. So attack with Spell Stutter. Opponent can't block. We get to ninjutsu, ninja the Deep Hours, pick it up. Draw a card, and then we can just pass. I wonder if reality chip is good in Hammer Time. Definitely interesting. Draw a card, fine with basically anything. Maybe even just a land. Yeah, land's fine. Well, ship the turn, leave up our Fatal Push. Our thinking here is we try to stay alive. Step 1, don't die. Words of wisdom about playing Magic. So try not to die. And then if our opponent makes constructs, we got explosives to clean them up. And the Fatal Push can keep us from getting janked out immediately, hopefully. But our opponent doesn't seem to value the constructs that highly. Pure Steel Paladin. All right. So if they cast the hammer, I think we just have to kill the Pure Steel. All right. Come on, opponent plays a hammer. Do we let our opponent draw a card? Yeah, we're gonna kill the Pure Steel. Not the fullest value, but we're gonna have to kill it either way, or else our opponent's gonna get a hammer on something. So I think we might as well do it now so they don't get to draw a card. Oh, there's a hammer. Okay. Well, opponent's gonna hit us. That makes it easier. Ooh, and an Infiltrator. Well, play the land. Like, we can kill this, attack, but then we don't have a Drown in the Lock anymore. We know this is going off. We could EE attack. All right, let's play Engineered Explosives on 2 and pass. Leave up Drown in the Lock, leave up Spell Stutter Sprite. And then we can hopefully set up for a good turn next turn of getting blockers out of the way. Spell Strutter, Infiltrator. Our opponent just really is not about making constructs, which I'm glad for. Those constructs are so scary, especially now that we used an Engineered Explosive. So I am glad that they are not killing us. Cards are ridiculous. So over the top. Hallowed Fountain. So they got another hammer. I mean, if our opponent ever can get these hammers on something, we're in a bit of trouble. All right, so there's an Ink Moth. Does our opponent have like Pure Steel? There's an Ornithopter. Okay, goes to combat. Attacks. Well, I think we're okay with taking an Infect. Sure. And we're gonna blow the explosives. Untap. Go to combat. Swing at you. If our opponent jumps, I guess that's kind of fine. And if opponent takes it, that's also very fine. Free card draw. All right, Ninja draws us a card. Yes, please. Ooh, double spell starter. All right. I like how this is shaping up. Opponent. I don't think our opponent can beat this hand. Like, we just have so much interaction. Outlet Fountain. Kind of need to run out of spell stutter. Tapped. Esper Sentinel. Well, that's a reason to run out of spell stutter. Counter it. And now we might just drown in the luck the Ornithopter. Opponent, Ink Moth Nexus. I mean, one infected turn's not going to get it done. Well, so far so good. So far so, opponent passes. Well, in that case, let's run out another spell stutter. Untap. Go to combat, swing with everything. Oh, maybe we gotta kill the Ornithopter. Yeah, is there a way we die? I don't think so. Well, actually, if our opponent draws Pure Steel, we die. Yeah, I guess we can't actually do that. We're so far ahead that we don't want to risk getting janked out by our opponent. Oh my god. No blocks? Okay. Well, we'll pick that one up. Infiltrate. Oh, I would love to just infiltrate again. But if our opponent draws Pure Steel, they just fire up Ink Moth and put the hammers on it. We die. So we gotta leave Brown in the lock and play it a little slower. All right, draw a card, draw a card. Drawing 3 is still not bad. I guess we'd just be discarding the hand size anyway. Ooh, Disrupting Shoal's a good one. All right, Pathway on blue, pass the turn, and I think we're good. Opponent untaps. The only way we lose is Pure Steel. And opponent's also flooding out a smidge. Opponent's actually getting close to just equipping Colossus Hammers. I played against Hammer Time a lot, and with Hammer Time a lot, I do not remember a time. You know, we're just gonna let it go. I do not remember a time where equipping it was actually a thing that happened. And I'll go to combat attack. I mean, as long as we just leave up interaction, I don't think it's possible we can lose. Go attacking, opponent. Yeah, we'll pick it up. Why not? Draw most of our deck. And well, this went super, super well. Draw a card, draw a card, draw a card, draw a card, draw a plan, drawing so many lands. I mean, that's fine though. Watery Grave, untapped, pass the turn, discard about 1 million lands. The funny thing is these Biting Palm Ninjas didn't do anything. I think the Biting Palms are good. Maybe this just is not the matchup for them. We just didn't need them. By the time they come online, our opponent was pretty low on cards and we would rather just be drawing cards. Gives us a GG, and all right, not bad. Not bad for the ninjas. We drew some cards, and we won. Much Abrew about nothing time. We are playing some Neo Ninjas in Modern this week. Checking out our new edition. Ninja's just such a sweet tribe. Sounds fine. Could use a 2-drop card drawing Ninjutsu Ninja. Darkssilk Shores, and new Modern staple Changeling Outcast. It's a ninja, technically. Oh, it's a graveyard deck? Okay. Schwamp and Fatal Push. Well, I'm not sure what our opponent's deck is. Play the land, pass the turn. Spell Stutter something into Biting Palm would be so good. Opponent's going to pass. Ugh, sure. Watery Grave, pass the turn. Next turn, maybe we run this out for no value. It'd be better if our opponent was tapped out. Urborg. Opponent passes. We need a 1-drop. That's what we want. Ninja the D-Powers. Well, pass the turn. Cycles. Is this like mono black living end? What is going on? What is happening? All right, untap, 1-drop, island. We could just hardcast Ninja the D-Powers. We're gonna keep waiting, playing it patiently. Opponent cycles. So that unearths. I have no idea what's happening at the moment. This looks like living end stuff, but I'm not sure how our opponent reanimates everything in mono black. You don't have the cascade spells, Thought Seize. So if we play this and they kill it, they still get to Thought Seize. All right, yeah, we're gonna do it. Spell Stutter Sprite. Haha. All right, that's fine. If our opponent's gonna spend their entire turn to do this, we will accept it. So they do get to Thought Seize because we don't have any fairies. We'll see what they take. Takes the shoal. How do they reanimate everything though? I'm so confused. We draw a Fatal Push. Well, yeah. Biting Palm Ninja, doing it the old-fashioned way. Well, no whammies, please. About it. Cabal Coffers. It's a lot of mana. Opponent's deck spicy, that's for sure. March of Wretched Souls. Again, go. What is going on with our opponent's deck? All right, Mastermind's Acquisition to get a card from the sideboard. It's another Coffers. Opponent makes a ton of mana. Another March of Wretched Souls. It never ends. And cycles. Well, our hand looks pretty bad. Changeling Outcast. So opponent has really unlimited mana. Double Cabal covers, basically infinite cycles. So I assume this is leading towards some sort of mass reanimation spell. It's gotta be. But what, is it like Rise of the Dark Realms? Are we casting 9 mana Rise of the Dark Realms? Is that the plan? Has drawn literally every copy of March of the Wretched Souls available. Okay, gets back 2 zombies that can cycle. Cycles. Plays a land. Opponent passes. Wow. Oh, these have been the worst possible draws for our deck. Boom, Ninja the D-Powers. I mean, this is awkward that our opponent drew all those March of Wretched Souls. But now we're seeing the bad of the Ninja deck, which is when you can't stick anything to start Ninjutsuing, it goes really poorly. What you got, Fred? Torment of Hailfire X16, sure. That is legal. Damping Sphere in. Voidwalkers drown in the lock. Force of Negations. And yeah, let's just run it like that. This hand's pretty good. Of course, our opponent can still have removal, but I mean, this gives us a shot at turn 2 Infiltrator, which is the most powerful thing our deck can do. Well, land on blue, Thousand Face Shadow, go. Opponent adapts. Schwamp. Fatal Push. Yep. Well, we will play Thousand Face Shadow. We will play Watergrave Untapped. We will play Changeling Outcast. Pass the turn. Schwamp. And finds a Thoughtseize. Cannot catch a break. Takes our card draw. Opponent passes. We draw a Spell Stutter Sprite. Not great at the moment. Well, we will hit you for... Oh, we are going to draw cards. Very disappointed. Opponent. Believer in deck thinning, apparently. Well, Watery Grave. Untapped. Go to combat. Swing. I feel like if we Ninjutsu, they're going to crack this in Fatal Push. But, I mean, it is kind of what we do. Big it up. Cracks, tramp, Fatal Push number 2. We called it, I guess. Opponent adapts. Swamp. More Thoughtseizes. Takes Drowning Lock. Opponent passes. That we kind of like. Well, get him with a Changeling Outcast. Hit ya. Kaido's time to shine. Kaido. Draw a card. Phase it out. Untap. Okay, that's good. This is probably the perfect matchup for Saito, really. Horlash. Spicy. Go to combat. Attack you. Opponent down to 10. Well, draw with Kaido. Well, Thousand Face Shadow. Yeah, I think we got to leave up the Spell Stutter Sprite here. If our opponent kills Kaido, that's fine. Opponent. Gonna hit Kaido. I think we'd rather have Thousand Face Shadow, though, than Kaido here, honestly. Well, that's coffers. Mana. Much of it. Torment of Hailfire X4. Okay. Down to 4. Opponent passes. Well, go to combat, attack, Ninja the D-Powers, pick up Thousand Face Shadow, draw a card. Opponent goes to 7. Yes, please. Thousand Face Shadow. If our opponent can kill Thousand Face Shadow, we die. Opponent untaps. Street Wraith down to 5. Oh, God. They drew something. Sure. Fair enough. Much Brew About Nothing time. We are playing some Neo Ninjas in Modern. Checking out the new Kamigawa Neon Dynasty ninjas, and no card draw ninjas, unfortunately, but I mean, we got some of the new ones. We'll see. Island, Thousand Face Shadow. Go. All right. Opponent untaps, plays a Sacred Foundry, untapped, and Unholy Heat. Oh, we would actually hit something. So Watery Grave untapped, run out Moonstruck Hacker, pass the turn. Oh, opponent's a land destruction deck? Interesting. Ugh, looks like Boom Bust. It's pretty bad. Or not. Opponent passes. Well, Flooded Strat, go to combat, attack you. I don't even know if we want a Ninjutsu here. Yeah, I think we wait. I think we just hit our opponent in loot, discard, dismember, and pass the turn. I really would like to avoid getting our lands blown up. Given the choice, we would prefer our lands to live. Unholy Heat. You know what? I think we just drown in the lock. Opponent passes. Well, go to combat, attack you. You know what? I think we just let it go again. Awkward, but I think correct. Okay, there's the land. So now we discard Vapor Snag. Play the land. Pass the turn. Okay, we're getting to where we want to be. Now we have the Spell Stutter Sprite. So next turn, hopefully we can actually do things. Well, run out Spell Stutter Sprite. Untap. Polluted Delta. Go to combat. Attack you. Crack the land for black. Crack the land for blue. All right, do the deck fitting. So opponents actually like Jeskai Control? Interesting. All right, crack all of our fetches. Biting Palm Ninja. Pick up Spell Stutter Sprite. Ninja the D-Powers. Pick up Hacker. Come on. Okay, that's huge. So we get to draw a card and we get the Biting Palm Falsies. No instant speed interaction. Big, big, big. All right, yes, we will draw a card. Biting Palm. Yes, we will remove a counter. Take a peek. Prismatic Ending. Counter spell. Settle the Wreckage to Fairy. And Snapcaster. Well, I think we take Snapcaster. Ninjas are actually kind of hard to get with Prismatic Ending. All right, that's not bad. We don't care about the counter spell. Opponent drew a land, so that's going to make Settle the Wreckage something we need to play around. I mean, opponent running out to Fairy is fine. Opponent passes. Go to combat. Attack you. Oh, wait, are they going to settle? I mean, I guess they're down to 8. I didn't realize their opponent's life total is so low, but I mean, if they just settle Ninja the D-Powers, that's kind of fine. All right, there's the Settle the Wreckage. Yeah, we'll let it go. I was thinking about picking it up and losing Hacker instead, but I think this is fine. So we got the settle out of our opponent's hand. We get a land. Opponent stays at 8. Oh, we will play Thousand Face Shadow. Watery Grave. Go. All right, Cleansing Wildfires themselves. Sure. Opponent does some ramping, draws a card. I mean, if we can... Ooh, okay. Dismember, not great. Well, go to combat. Attack you. All right, so we Hacker. Pick up Thousand Face Shadow. Thousand Face Shadow. Pick up Hacker. Copy Biting Palm. And then Hacker. Pick up Thousand Face Shadow. And they should be lethal, right? Triple Ninjutsu off of one creature for the win against control. Oh, Thousand Face Shadow is so sweet. Woo! Triple Ninjutsu win. I mean, oh, yes. Definitely keep that in mind if you play the deck. There are times, because of Thousand Face Shadow and its weird ETB trigger, there are times when just ninjutsuing the same thing over and over again actually kind of beneficial. Force in, Spell Pierce in, Brutality in. Let's see if we can do that again. That was a close one. We need one more land. I really want to keep this hand. One land, one keep. We got double counters. We got the 1-drop into Infiltrator. All right, we'll mulligan. Infiltrators for days. Gonna have to dodge some removal, but that is a lot of Infiltrators. Opponent, tap land. Ugh, more lands. More lands not good. We don't really want more lands. Oh, the problem here is if this Outcast dies, we're gonna be way too slow. And our opponent's deck is just a pile of removal. Opponent, Mountain, Chalice on 1. Oh, that is annoying. We draw even more lands. We'll get in with the Outcast. The problem is we can get down our Infiltrator, but then we can't replay our 1-drop. So Chalice is actually kind of good for our opponent here. Get in, hit ya. Oh no! Oh no! Oh dear God! That's a lot of lands. Oh, and a Dismember. All right, well, Dismember's not good. Go to combat, attack you. Well, it doesn't have removal. That's something. All right, pass the turn. Oh God! All right. 2 Dismembers. Opponent gonna crack the Scalding Tard. Imagine if these were not Dismembers, but like counter spells or something. Okay, there's a Teferi. Going to bounce our Ingenious Infiltrator. Ay. Yeah, these have been probably the worst possible draws in our deck, in all honesty. Another Outcast, uncastable in Chaliceville. I'll play the Infiltrator past the turn. Maybe we should have kept that 1-lander. Maybe that's a problem. We didn't keep enough 1-landers. Opponent gonna take up Teferi. Yeah, Teferi shuts down a lot of our interaction. Thousand Face Shadow. Go to combat. Attack. I guess Teferi. Wow, all right, that actually worked. Watery Grave, tapped. I mean, yeah. Infiltrator 2, please no wrath. Opponent has a counter spell. Well, considering we can't cast most of our hand, we're hard casting Infiltrators, and we drew both Dismembers. So it's going about as well as we could hope, in all honesty. Opponent. I'm guessing that's not what they were trying to do, but I don't know, maybe they needed a card type in the graveyard or something. That was... And the Shame Scoop. Okay, well, I guess we take it. Sweet. Much Much Abrew About Nothing time. We are Neo Ninja-ing in Modern, playing some new Kamigawa Neon Dynasty ninjas, and I mean, playing a Fairy Tribal. I mean, I guess this is fine. Triple Spell Stutter is kind of interesting. Prismatic Vista. We don't really have a payoff at the moment. Well, that's kind of a payoff, I guess. Changeling Outcast. Go. Outcast pretty good with the Spell Stutter sprites. So this is probably some sort of 5-color Omnath pile, I guess. Usually Prismatic Vista means snow-covered lands in at least 4 colors. Oh, just kidding, Mono Red Eldrazi. Chalice on 1. That's actually pretty annoying. Cavern of Souls. Ninja. Actually lets us get through this Chalice, which is funny. Go to combat, hit ya. Down 18. Well, come on. Things we can ninjutsu into play. Shatter Skull smashing. I mean, opponent's got lots of mana thanks to this Eldrazi temple. Ought not Sia. We will dismember. So we drew the Infiltrator, but our opponent gets to take it. Ugh, yeah. Takes the predictable card and passes. Well, Ninja the Depower is good. Watery Grave, untapped. Down to 16, go to combat. Hit ya. And Ninjutsu. Ninja the Depower is not as good as Infiltrator, but still good. Draw a card. And Changeling Outcast. Through the Chalice. Wow, our 1 Cavern's paying off at the moment. Nips. Season Pyromancer. Good card. Make some dorks and passes. Go to combat. Attack. Okay, 1, 2. Ninja the Depowers. Pick up the Changeling Outcast. Hit ya. Draw a card. Changeling Outcast. Go. Well, we have some good removal spells, which is nice. We're running out of good things to ninjutsu, which is less nice. Reality Smasher is a hunk of damage. All right, there's a waste. Opponent. All right, kills the Changeling Outcast. Passes. Our opponent will obviously block. I mean, I guess we probably wait. Let's play Thousand Face Shadow, uncounterably. And Watergrave tapped. Pass the turn. Probably just gonna end up running out of Spell Stutter, even if there's no target, just to get it on the battlefield here. Uh-oh. All right, another Thought Knot Seer. Well, in that case, I guess we run it back. Dismember. Kill the Thought Knot Seer. Draw Vapor Snag. Takes a Spell Stutter. Go to combat. Attack. Well, now I think we just Thousand Face Shadow. Picking up Thousand Face Shadow, make a copy of Ninja the Depowers. All right. Try block our card draw. Draw a card. More Fatal Pushes. We'll pass the turn. Opponent's down to 7. Amber wins. I mean, we're still at 14. Still a little worried about like Reality Smasher just because so much damage. Okay, there's Reality Smasher. Opponent passes. Hideaway. So we can't Vapor Snag, unfortunately. I'll go to combat. Hit you with a Thousand Face Shadow. So opponent down to 6. And we'll just pass. Pass and do some spell stuttering. Oh, this is super close. If it wasn't for the Chalice, I'd feel really good about where we're at, but goes to combat. Wow, all right, getting frisky. Hits us. Down to 9. Okay, well, we will spell stutter sprite. Opponent stomps. Okay. Well, we will spell stutter sprite. Untap. Go to combat. It's gonna be the janky beatdown game plan. Aye. This is gonna be so ridiculously close. All right, hit ya. Down to 3. Thousand Face Shadow. Uncounterably. Well, we'll see. We are presenting lethal past the turn. All right, opponent, what do you got? Untaps. They don't know about the Spell Stutter. We got 1 more surprise counter. We beat a Reality Smasher. Oh my God, we beat it. Spell Stutter. Fairy Tribal. Opponent goes attacking. They can't cast any 1s. Well, I mean, Spell Stutter Spray. This gives us just enough to double chump and then attack back for Exacxies. We go to 1, and then our opponent goes to 0 in a ridiculously close game. Well, we didn't get to do any like crazy value snowball, but we did end up winning somehow. All right, Dismember in, Drown in the Lock in. We got a Force Negation, and yeah, let's just run it like that. No 1-drop, unfortunately, but Prismatic Vista. Opponent cracks it. And Ragavan. Well, playing Ornithopter. Dark Slick Shores, go. Opponent goes to combat. I mean, this feels horrible, but I mean, it feels bad, but we got to do it. Chump block. Eldrazi Temple. Ugh, Matter Reshaper. Well, play the land. Yes, Ragavan's causing problems. Actually, wait, they're playing a 4 of main up Chalice of the Void deck and Ragavan. Double Eldrazi Temple is a good, fair magic. Opponent gets in and hits us. Sure. Drown in the luck. Well, we'll play a Changeling Outcast. Can you beat it? I mean, the answer is yes. Our opponent has 2 Eldrazi Temples, so yes, they do. Well, we'll pass the turn. Unfortunately, our opponent hasn't got enough cards in the graveyard for this Drown in the Lock to do much. Opponent untaps. Goes to combat. Hits us for a billion. Yeah, we're down to 10. Ramanamp Ruins. Chandra, okay. Yeah. Well, that'll do it. That was a really good mono red Eldrazi draw. Well, good news is we're on the play, and our deck has potential to, we're not keeping that hand. Oh no, not like this, Magic Gods. Well, this was disappointing, but we will put a Castle Lockwade, I guess Thousand Face Shadow. Actually, let's go Drown in the Lock, and a Drown in the Lock to the bottom. All right, boom, land, Changeling Outcast. Untaps, Mountain. Ragavan. Well, we will go to combat. We will attack with the Changeling Outcast, and we will Ninja the Deep Hours. Unfortunately, this means Ragavan gets in hits, though, which is bad. Hit you, draw a card, pass the turn. I guess Ragavan does make ninjas look a little silly, doesn't it? There's no effort, there's no work. It's just like, hey, play me for... Really? No effort. Oh my goodness, and they have Eldrazi Temple again. It's like the Magic Gods do not want us to win this matchup. Jeez. Hits the Fatal Push off the Ragavan, and for the 3rd game in a row, has the Eldrazi Temple. We'll play a land. We will play a Thousand Face Shadow. Got to give our opponent a good target for their stomp and pass the turn. Yeah, they do have the stomp. That was like a game-ending Ragavan attack, essentially. I mean, that's a pretty good example of why Ragavan is a card that I don't know. It's a card that's so good that you play it even though your deck is designed to counter everything that costs 1 mana. Let's put it that way. Shatter Skull Smashing. I mean, if they have thought not. Okay, Bone Crusher Giant. Well, we will play a Changeling Outcast and pass the turn. But yeah, really that Ragavan hitting the Fatal Push, unlikely mathematically, but that essentially just won our opponent the game with us being on the mulligan, like losing our Ninja the Deep Hours to one of our own cards because a 1-drop attacked. I mean, that essentially was just the game ending at that moment. Opponent has a Blood Moon. Well, I guess we're not casting black cards anymore. Watery Grave. Go to combat. Attack. We can Ninja the Deep Hours. Wow, this would have worked. If our opponent didn't get that lucky Ragavan spin, I think this hand would have probably worked. So we get to draw a card. It's a Ninja the Deep Hours. A little less good when you get a hard cast it, but what can you do? I mean, our opponent has also locked most of their deck out of the game. I think we actually just take Infinite and kill this. Yeah, I mean, dismember. It is painful, but technically it works. Okay. Well, we will play a Ninja the Deep Hours. Pass the turn. Opponent adapts. Mountain. I mean, our opponent can't play any Eldrazi, but they do have more braids. Well, we will play the Pathway. We will pass the turn. Opponent plays a Mountain. Hard cast the Fury. This Eldrazi deck's pretty non-buoy. Well, sure. Dismember it down to 4. Untap. Ornithopter. Unfortunately, this Blood Moon is actually doing some work. Honestly, very surprised that our opponent's deck has... I'm surprised about a lot of things in our opponent's deck, apparently. I'm surprised it's got Blood Moon. I'm surprised that it's playing Ragavan Chalice. Spellstutter Sprite, so we can get some clock going. Force of Negation. I mean, we can cast it. Would have been nice when we were trying to protect card draw ninjas. Ability Adepts. Chandra. Well, that is good enough to force a negation. Well, 12 turns of Spellstutter Sprite attacks and opponent's done. Disrupting Shoal. Down to 11. Without black mana, it's going to be very difficult to do a lot. Okay, Ragavan. Well, I guess that means we're blocking with the Ornithopter. Opponent picks up the stupid monkey. Oh, Spellstutter's pretty good. Get in and hit ya. Down to 10. Maybe the Spellstutters can get there. If our opponent ever draws a waste to break out from under their self-lock, Spellstutter Sprite. Stop the Ragavan. Double the clock. Eldrazi Temple, just a mountain. Oh my goodness. Opponent passes. Darkslick Shores, probably better known as a mountain. Hit you with the Spell Stutter sprites. About it. Down to 8. 4 turns. 4 turns. Come on. Come on. About it. Passing. Luna Delta. Not super helpful, but it's a card. Hit ya. Down to 6. 3 turns. Hold. Hold. Come on. About it. Untaps. Seasoned Pyromancer. Well, we'll counter that. Opponent passes. Changeling Outcast, can't cast it. 2 turns. Oh my goodness, we need our opponent to whiff for 2 turns. Opponent passing. Watery Grave doesn't do anything. Attack you. Opponent. 1 turn. 1 turn. What? Uh-oh. Okay, makes goblins, that's fine. Or elementals. 1 turn. Whiff, whiff, whiff. Oh, opponent didn't scoop. Goes to combat. Hits us to 2. Scoops it up! Oh! The least likely win. Wow. Ragavan. The lucky flip. Opponent. Blood Moon themselves. And we got there with the Spell Stutter sprites. Well, I mean, that was a sweet win. That was a sweet win. Oh. So what do we learn this week about Neo Ninjas? And overall record-wise, 7-3 with the deck. So a pretty reasonable record. Obviously, you didn't get to see all 10 matches. That's just way too many for a video. But you got to see a pretty good mixture of really the good and the bad of the deck. The good of the deck is twofold. We got to see the free wins of the deck, and the most powerful thing the deck does is just get the like turn 2 ninja card draw snowball. When we get Ingenious Infiltrator going on turn 2, we just draw so many cards, we find so much removal, so many counters, so many threats, we kind of pick up free wins. It takes us a few turns to actually win the game, but a lot of times it feels like we just can't lose. We have like 7 cards in hand, we counter and kill everything our opponent does, while also chipping in for damage and drawing more cards. The other thing we got to see, with our last game being a great example, is some really late game wins where we're able to piece together wins, beating down with Thousand Face Shadows, her Spell Stutter sprites, and just kind of like hanging on and fighting and clawing, and the deck was good enough to still be able to pick up those wins. So that's the upside of the deck. You can get these free snowball wins, plus you can win in the late game. We also saw the bad of the deck, and the bad of the deck is sometimes your opponent can kill your evasive like 1-drops and your Ornithopters, and you're left with a handful of Ingenious Infiltrators and Ninja the Depowers and Biting Palm Ninjas, and when you have to hard cast those cards, oh my god, they're so not good. If you've ever seen Dredge get hit by Graveyard Hate, and you have to like hard cast your Stinkweed Imps and hard cast your Golgari Thugs, that's kind of how it feels. It maybe not quite as bad, but pretty close. Like when Ingenious Infiltrator is a 4-mana 2/3 rather than being ninjutsu'd on turn 2, or Ninja the Depower is a 4-mana 2/2 rather than being ninjutsu to start drawing cards early in the game. They're so bad. So there is risk here. There is drawbacks. We do have protection, like Disrupting Shoal is actually legit great in this deck, and I think I should probably even play more of it. It is really good, but you will still occasionally have those bad games with the deck. But overall, Neo Ninjas, the deck's a blast. It's fun. It's pretty competitive. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention, because I know people are going to ask about this. Why no Umezawa? And I feel like Umezawa is just not really great in this deck. I feel like it's its own deck, and we'll try playing it. I want to do the Umezawa like Blightsteel meme style deck, but really when you think about Umezawa, it gives everything ninjutsu 4, which is actually pretty bad in our deck, because all of our ninjas ninjutsu for less than that, and you don't really want a ninjutsu like a Changeling Outcast into play for 4 mana. So that ability doesn't really do anything in a deck that's already ninjas, although I guess getting the Anticipate mode is nice. The card advantage would be fine. Maybe there's an argument to playing like a copy or 2 just to try to anticipate as you're ninjutsuing other things, but really Umezawa is really sweet, and I think there is a deck that we will play with it. I want to play like Blightsteels and Muldrifters, and I think it's at its best though in decks where you don't have a bunch of ninjas. As odd as that sounds, like the power of Umezawa is turning other things into ninjas and being able to ninjutsu big things into play on the cheap, stuff that you normally can't cheat into play when you can already ninjutsu all your stuff for like 2 mana. Ninjutsuing it for 4 mana just doesn't do much. So that's why there's no Umezawa, not because Umezawa is a bad card or anything. I just don't think it's actually that good in a ninja deck, but I'm sure we'll play some Umezawa in the future. So anyway, that is Neo Ninjas. That's been our Much Abrew for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.